Hey everybody, Rich with you again. In today's video, we're going to cover websites, okay? And we're going to cover them mainly because you're going to come up upon the conversation about their website instantly, your very first day, and it's probably going to happen every single day that you're on the phone. Because if we're talking with a small business about placing their business or their website on the first page of Google, then obviously the conversation is going to transition into the possibility of the business not having a website. Believe it or not, it's 2018 and there's a lot of businesses that don't have a website. They've never got around to doing it. They've been pitched by people that quote them $2,000 or $3,000 or $4,000 or $5,000 to build them a website. Or astronomical hosting fees, or they want to sell them search engine optimization on top of the website, and so the website might be free, but it's $500 a month to keep it. Things like that. The other issue or thing you're going to run into is when the business has a website, but they haven't updated that website in a really long time. And we all know what we're talking about, especially since a majority of all of our searching now is done on our smartphones, our iPhones and our Androids. And a majority of those sites that have not been updated are very hard to view on a mobile device because they're not built for such a small screen. And the other thing that happens is when a lot of times you go to one of these sites, it doesn't load at all because it's not built for mobile. And so one of the things that we're going to be talking about today is, again, how can we solve that problem, or one of those problems, if someone doesn't have a website or needs to have a website, in a really simple manner, something that is easy, something that's affordable for them to jump into and not complicated. Okay, because a business owner, that's the last thing. The simpler you can make this, the easier it is for them to make a decision about buying it. So let's talk about what we use for our website building. We'll talk about pricing on the website. A lot of times they really just need something real basic. And then we'll go over kind of the timelines on how these are built and such. So again, get out your notepads. If you don't already have it, you're something to take some notes on. And we'll go ahead and get started. So the basics of a website. So let's just say someone that you're speaking to needs a new website, period. Whether that's a new website or we need to revamp their website. When we're talking about a website, we're going to talk about two portions of the website. So I want you to grab your pen and paper and write down these two words. We're going to write down hosting and we're going to write down design. Okay, so we'll talk about each one of these individually really quickly. So hosting is basically when we build a website, the files of the website, so the pictures and all the content have to be stored on a computer somewhere. So when somebody types in joeschirurpractor.com, that goes and finds the files and shows the files on the screen to you and I. Okay, that's basically what hosting is. So the files have to be stored somewhere in order to be accessed, so the website comes up. So hosting is $25 every month. Okay, now everything that we do, just like the AdWords program, is month to month. So they're not committing to everything, but if you turn off your hosting, then basically what happens is your website disappears in a sense. The files could still be there, but it's not going to be shown to anybody. Okay, so if they stop their hosting, their website goes away. So pretty much everybody either pays monthly or yearly for the hosting. Okay, so that's kind of non-negotiable. So when you're talking to a client, you just talk to them, okay, so basically there's $25 a month to host it, okay, and then somebody needs to actually design the actual website. Okay, and this is kind of where we charge the client, because the client has the ability or has the option, if they want to build their own site, and then we'll go ahead and host it for them. Okay, so the company that we use right now and have for a while and will continue to use is called Duda. Duda is an agency platform that allows us to have great, responsive, high-quality websites that we can push out and get onto Google very, very quickly. A lot of the big agencies like Yellow Pages and Haibu, and bigger digital agencies like Boostability, all of them use Duda to launch their websites because it's a fantastic platform. The clients, if they want to, are able to actually log in and manipulate their website by themselves if they want to. So let's talk about the differences in how we could possibly set this up for a client, okay, as far as design and hosting. So when we get somebody started, if they need a brand new site or they need to revamp their site, it's going to be $25 a month to host that website on Duda, okay? So basically that's going to keep that site there and keep it updated, so any new phones come out or any new technology comes out, it's automatically going to be programmed, the website will be programmed to update to those new devices, so like new tablets or new computers, new phones, all of that kind of stuff always is needing to be updated, and it's happening faster and faster and faster nowadays, just because of how technology is moving. So it's really important to have your website consistently updated. And again, that's part of the reason why so many of the websites that we go to nowadays are not, they don't work on our phones, because they were not built on a platform that will be continually updating. So you have to take their website and update it, once every 2 or 5 years, it seems like, in order to keep it kind of relevant. With this platform, we really don't have to do too much of that because it's always updating on its own, which is keeping the website up to date for wherever we're at with technology. Okay, so the hosting is number one. So it's $25 a month, and then we have a couple of options as far as who designs the website. So with Duda, there comes, if you go into Duda.com, and we can actually go here and see a bunch of the different templates that are already pre-built with different pictures and a little bit of content, okay, in them. So if a client is at the point where they just can't afford to pay for a website, what we can do is we'll go ahead and set up the template for them, and then they can actually log in and start changing the specific content, so adding their name, their logo, content about their services and the services that they actually provide, an about us page, how to contact them, adding their phone numbers and emails and that kind of stuff. So if a client wants to do it themselves, they're kind of like, well, I don't want to pay anybody to do it, then we can go ahead and set it up to where they can log in and change their whole website all by themselves, okay? And that would be free for them. So it'd basically be $25 a month, and then they can jump in there and go ahead and change all the content and make that website their own. Okay, so if they want a really super cheap option, that's the option to go. It's $25 a month, nothing to set it up, and we go from there. So if somebody doesn't have a website, or their website is completely atrocious, they need the cheapest cheap option, this is the option to go with. Okay, so now for most clients, they don't want to do it themselves, even though most of them, even clients that do sign up and say, yeah, I want to do it myself, I'd probably say about 6 to 7 out of 10 times, they're actually going to call you back and say, well, wait a minute, how much was this to do? Because they don't want to take the time to do it. It might be 3 weeks down the road, they haven't done anything, or they just find it challenging to come up with, pictures or content, right? Which is fine. They're a business owner. They're not a website designer, right? That's where we come in. So now, if somebody does not want to do it themselves, and they want us to do it, then our pricing is very, very simple. And this is where you want to write this down because it's super simple. So we always are going to have the $25 a month to host the website, to keep this thing updated, right, and hosted. But the design, if they want us to do the design, we will do the design for $100 per page. Okay, so most websites, most decent websites, are between 3 and 5 pages. Okay, not very many places have a one-page website. You can have a one-page website if you want to, but it really doesn't give the best overall picture to the person that goes to your website. Like, oh wow, they just put up a one-pager, right? So it's good for first impression to a new prospective client to have a little bit more of a robust site. So typically we always suggest about 3 to 5 pages, which comes out to about $300 to $500 for us to design it. Okay, so it's really super simple. If a client needs a new website, we really have two options. We can host it and they can design it and do it themselves, or we can host it and we can do the design for $100 a page. Okay. When we do the design, it's a one-time fee. It's not month to month. Okay. So it's just one time. They pay for the site and then it's done. After that, if they need little updates and things like that, we'll do it. If it's like, hey, change a phone number or change a picture. If they need other additional pages or they want to completely revamp it, then we'll just go ahead and get into cost at that time. Okay. So I know that was pretty simple, but if you have any questions about the way the websites work or pricing or what happens in this situation, go ahead and tune into our daily conference calls, and both at 7 o'clock and I believe 12 o'clock, and or send us an email at affiliates@localleads.us. Other than that, we'll talk to you guys soon.